Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you today? I would like to introduce you to a new idea that God has given to me. And I think that this idea can make a difference in our world today. I have been thinking, when I look around the world that we live in, generations have come and generations have gone. But there's a generation that is growing up and values and morals and issues are just turning around. Now, I have been inspired to come and speak to this generation. In this generation, the question is it possible to have pure people in this generation? Pure people in mind, that we can be discussing something with you and you just take it from a pure mind the way it is. That I can be at my place of work and I concentrate and give 100% of the concentration I have to my work. That we can have young people, the youth of today, who are ethically right. I mean, they are pure in their bodies. They are not misusing their bodies sexually. They are not doing drugs. They are not influencing themselves in different ways. Is it possible for anyone to be pure in this generation? And that question really lingers on my mind. Let me bring in another perspective. How about ethics? Ethics the way we knew them and the ethics today. Are ethics a reality or a mirage in our generation? That question also bothers me a little bit. Look here, do you remember those days when, as a young person, you were going through challenges in life? You'd go and sit down with your grandfather and he will talk to you like he's talking to his own brother, with a lot of love, but with a sense of firmness, trying to give you a direction. Today, those courageous men and women are no longer there. If they are there are just a few of them. And probably that's why some of us could be still holding on, because we had an opportunity to talk to such a person in our lives at our formative stages of life. Mistakes that would have been made in relationships were resolved because these people spoke to us. Issues that we would have done wrongly, our sisters would have gone and misbehaved. But our aunties were able to sit down and talk to them. And they listened to them and they did not think that they were old school or they came from another generation. But the question is, in this generation, are there people who can sit us down and talk to us with love, with patience, and with courage, without thinking that we will look at them and say they are old school? They're, in this generation, are ethics a reality? Do you know our children are taught in school the polite words, excuse me, forgive me, I am sorry. Those words look religious. They look more religious than ethical. Yet they are just but ethics. I remember times when I was growing up, someone would get on a matatu, on a public transport in Kenya, and is traveling to another place. Then an elder comes into that particular vehicle. When an elderly person comes into the vehicle, young men were expected, naturally, without being told by anyone, to stand up and let the elder sit. But in this generation, if I have paid fare, I need to sit most comfortable because I have paid. And I do not care whether a pregnant woman is hanging at the door where the conductor is just about to throw them out and it will be a bad accident. We just sit comfortable. And we would say if they thought that they needed to be pregnant, then they should have bought their own vehicle to travel in their own comfort. I'm asking, are there ethics in this generation? Are there ethics in this generation? Probably you have a different view from mine. That's why we need to have a connection, a time to be able to talk about these particular matters in this generation. I'm asking myself a question. When those of us who grew up in church knew that sex was supposed to be reserved for the married, but today, young people are becoming sexually active at the ages of 10, 11, 12, 13. There's a lot of information in this generation. By the time you are thinking you want to start advising your young boy or your young daughter about certain things sexual, they already know too much. So when you're talking to them, they think you're old school. Probably they have explored much more than you have ever explored. In this generation, can we have ethically right people? Is it possible for us to just say, respect the marriage bed? How many women today are bringing in people who are not their husbands into their bedrooms when their husbands are absent? Because we are in a generation when everyone is so busy. I have to go to work and I'll be away for a week or two. My wife would have a friend whom she can bring into her bedroom. Is that really something that bothers us today? As long as someone is standing at the door of your house, they don't know what's happening inside there. Nowadays, women are dressing like they're going to breastfeed the next minute. Probably I have a problem with dressing, and that may not be the thing because, we are saying my dress, my choice. But in this generation, recently you heard in Kenya here, a young girl who is drinking. She has drunk herself stupid and she's saying her role model is her mother. In this generation, will we have people who can live right? That's the question in this generation. Brothers and sisters, can we talk about these matters? Do we have a place? Do we have a platform? Church today has become another place. Many people are violated. They go to church to look for solutions, but then sometimes they get there and they don't get the right solution. I am a pastor, but I'm saying in this generation, do we have a place where we can go and trust people with our private, personal information, and we think that we will be assisted to get solutions in our lives? In this generation, even church is being challenged. And now I want to stand here and say, I am not saying I am any better. I'm not saying that I have got solutions. But I think that, guys, we need to sit down and connect and talk and discuss this matter. Social media is there everywhere. Everything is happening. But we need a people who can take accountability and say, really, this generation has to see the light of the day. We want to raise up a people who are responsible. We want to raise up sons and daughters who will also tomorrow become people who are responsible in our society. And I think the best way to do this is to have an open discussion. Let's come together and talk about issues in this generation. There's a lot of motivational speaking. A lot of motivational speaking all over. In the corporate world, the corporates are hiring and paying lots of money for people to be spoken to by people who are just coming up with ideas. There's a lot of ideas out there. But the question is, are these people connecting? Are they able really to get in touch with the reality of the things that happen in our homes, in our families, on our streets, in our offices, all over the place? Oh, guys, we need to sit down and talk about issues in this generation. And I feel so burdened over this, and I want to call you on board. Come on now, if you hear this idea, if you think you have something that you could be able to share, converse with somebody. If you're succeeding in a particular field, don't lock up yourself. Come, let us talk. Let's discuss. Let's see how to ventilate on matters and help our people to connect in this generation. ITG Connect, in this generation, connect, is an idea that I'm thinking will bring us together. Look here, brothers and sisters. We want to create social media platforms. We want to go on Facebook. We want to go on Twitter. We want to go on WhatsApp. We want to go on Instagram. And I would like you to join when you hear about our page. Join in, give in your ideas about issues in this generation. Talk about purity, talk about ethics, talk about premarital sex, talk about the marriage bed principle and the young couples and marriages that are breaking today. While others are really looking forward to doing a wedding, others are really wanting to jump out. Some would say, if I had an opportunity to marry, I wouldn't marry the person I've married today. Yet we want marriages to succeed in this generation. Come on now, let's talk. Let's talk about these matters. Let's look at ourselves and really think about the reality of these matters and say, in this generation, can we connect? This is how we can do this. We offer ourselves 3 weeks. We do season 1. In season 1, we talk matters purity and ethics. So you join our social media page, you put in your age. We want to know how people between the ages of 20 and 30 are saying, what the people in the ages of 30 and 40 are saying, and what the guys in the ages of 40 to 50 are saying on the same subject. Then we'll have someone, our administrators, to summarize all the details of what we are talking about and give that information into a chaperone. Who is a chaperone? A chaperone is a supervisor, is a big brother somewhere. It's someone who has gone through certain issues and they're able to stand up and give testimony and say, guys, if I fell into this ditch, you don't have to fall into that ditch. When all those guys come together, then we are able to discuss. Once we have discussed, we give them the information. They do a research on the same subject and they come and just give a qualified opinion at the end of our discussion. Then we have a once per month ultimate of the ITG Connect, where we meet and people are able to now speak openly about the issues that we have discussed, and then the chaperone will give his opinion. It's not a motivational speaking session. It's a time that we can have someone moderating, and then we talk about the issues that are eating us in this generation. Then at the end, we'll have a scorecard. A scorecard. On that scorecard, what we're going to do is that we'll give to everyone who comes to our Connect meeting, we give you a card that has 3 sections. Section 1, you write one idea or one thing that you have been inspired during the sessions of ITG Connect that you would like to implement in your life. A practical thing, something you think you can invest on, you can do, and you can improve on your personal life. You write it down. The second section, we ask you whether you would like us to hold you accountable for the things that you are doing. If we can hold you accountable for the matter that you have listed in one above, then we are able to deal. We can give you a supervisor, a mentor, someone who can work with you into that idea. And the third one, we will be able now to ask you, would you be willing to share your testimony and your experience at another Connect? So that we do this Connect like in a year, we can do 3 quarters. I mean, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, or season 1, season 2, season 3. And I think that would have helped and impacted lives. Come on board. Let us push on. God bless you.